Segment is sponsored by Gilman Bedigian.
Top executives wait to give their children cell phones until they are 14, with most not allowing data plans until 16 years of age. That's according to a recent New York Times report. Yet across the U.S., the average age right now for a child's first phone is 10. What effects are smartphones having on their young brains? We'll hear now from Gilman Bedigian, Charles Gilman. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Your law office actually put together a couple questions that parents should have there that they should be asking themselves to find the right age. I mean, it's pretty simple. Does your child lose their belongings? Will they understand how to use a phone responsibly? Are they generally a responsible kid? And are they capable of navigating social media responsibly?
Well, it's all part of a learning experience, but it also, every kid is different. Right. Every kid develops differently. Boys sometimes slower than girls, and could be vice versa. Right. So I think it's, every family has to ask the questions, all those questions and many more, before they make a decision like, do I give a child a cell phone with a data plan or without a data plan?
Also, I know another point is a lot of single parents will say, you know what, it's vital, because if I can't make it somewhere, I need my child to have a cell phone to be able to find it, just for the contact.
Absolutely. It makes it easier to get in touch with your child after school or while they're outside of school. It makes it easier for you to find out where your child is, because the one thing we all know about cell phones is they don't put them down. Yeah. So there's a good chance if you're using one of those apps that tracks them, it's actually on them, and you can make sure they're where they're supposed to be and there's no bad things going on.
Yeah, there's some pros that you guys have in here. It's kind of like the apps for the phone. You'll be able to spy on your kids, find out exactly what they're texting. You can establish a lot of those parent guides on there and have them installed on their phone before you even hand it to them.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, we don't call it spying, but it really is. It's more like monitoring. Correct. There you go. That's a good.
I mean, you're the one buying the phone, right? Don't you have the right to be able to see what's being used on it?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's your data plan. It's your phone, and you should know what your children are up to, because if they do need some education or talking to about what they're doing on social media or what they're not doing with it, you have the ability to do that because you've been tracking them.
You also listed out some of the cons here. One of the biggest factors is the cost of it. I mean, these smartphones are little computers right now, and they get upwards of $1,000. Absolutely.
They're very expensive to buy and purchase. They're expensive to maintain, in that the data plans can cost you $80 to $100 a month, depending upon the carrier. And you have to look at your family budget and see what's going to work best for you, and how much is it worth to be able to do these things for or to watch your child.
What about the cyberbullying aspect of it, too? I mean, because now they're vulnerable. If they do have a data plan there on social media sites, it can quickly just backfire on them.
Oh, it can spiral out of control quickly. I think that's part of the education process. Just like we don't give kids cars or driver's licenses without driving school, so there is no social media school, if you will, but we can talk to them about it at home, and I think most of the schools now have topics and lectures on it, and I think we have to come together as a community and teach them the benefits of the social media, but also the downfalls, so they don't fall into one of those traps.
So we were saying in the beginning, a 10-year-old is the average U.S. I mean, you could see that, or you think, personally, do you think maybe wait a couple years?
I think, again, it depends on your family situation. I have children, and I recall when I was making the decision, my children are older now, it was important to me because they were going to places outside, camps, and I wanted to make sure that, nothing nefarious happened, and if it did, I would probably know where they were.
All right, thank you very much, Charles
Thank
Gilman.
you.
We appreciate your input on this, too.
Thank you.
All right, Jonathan, let's find out here. Two young boys yourself here.